Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jennifer. I do hope that you stick around. Please stick around by actually clicking that red subscribe button on the bottom, and also do give this video a big thumbs up as I go through the video, or even now, so that you don't forget, because it does happen. So I want us to talk about this syndrome. It is called Ngfuna Bang'bone, and this can be your family, it can be your friends, it can be your colleagues, it can just be anyone that you feel like you want to show off to. And sometimes not even that you want to show off, but you want them to see you. You want them to see, oh yeah, hey, Uzanele was who drive Koloi Eshabu Ubanman, bought this beautiful mansion, and you post these things on Instagram, post after post after post after post, which is there's actually nothing wrong with that. Post when a girl, post when a guy, if you want to show off. There's nothing wrong. Not even that if you want to show off. You want to create memories on Instagram. You want it to be there. Even after 5 to 10 years, you can go back and look at it that, if 5 years ago I was here, I had done this. Now where I am, there are many reasons why we post things on Instagram. So if you want to post, do a post after post after post. Do it when a girl, because you've been suffering in public. You must also post in public. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent, but it is a real net that was done by this other lady. I don't even know who it was, but she was talking about that if I've suffered in public and you've been seeing it, when I do strive in public, it will be post after post after post. Ne? So yeah, I want to talk about a syndrome ebizwa ngokuthi ngifuna abantu bangibone. I want people to see me. For those that don't understand this Zulu, I want people to notice me. I want people to see what I've done. So I'm going to share with you a story where I almost found myself in the shackles of ngifuna abantu bangibone, ngifuna bangibone ukuthi what am I capable of, what I can do, and that I work now. I found myself, when I was working, after my internship, I got a permanent job, and that permanent job was paying me a very normal salary. It was not decent. I could not do much with it. So there was a time where I actually got a better job in the same department, but now it's a higher paying job and better responsibilities than what I was doing. And I thought to myself, oh my God, this is it. This is a time where I can actually buy a car. So I decided that, okay, I'm going to buy a car. And at that time, I had not even started on the job. Mind you, I had went for the interview and passed the interview, and I was just waiting for few administrative issues, and then I was going to start my job. So I decided that, I am going to reward myself. I'm going to reward myself, and I'm going to buy a car. So there was this talk, because I was working in an open plan office, there was this talk about cars. And also because I'm a tall girl, I'm a big girl, I'm tall and I've got body mass, I've got structure. So people have expectations, and guys, I don't know why do we do this to ourselves. Why do we do this? So because I have this body and this height, people have expectation on the type of car that I should be driving. And there was a time where I said, I think I'm going to buy myself a Kia Picanto. Kia Picanto is good. It's a small car. It will take me from point A to point B. It's not going to cost me on petrol, and it's a reliable brand. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with Kia Picanto. And in the office, they were not impressed. They're like, you are tall, you are big. How does this go along? You in a Picanto, you mude, umnomzimba. How do you get to the point where you buy a Picanto? So it was some sort of people now telling me what is actually good for me because of how I look. So I was like, okay, the idea of Picanto, I threw it out the window. But then I had my favorite car, and it's still my favorite car till now, which is Kia Rio. Just love that car, especially the latest models. So I decided that, it's fine. I'm gonna go with Kia Rio. I loved it. I love the interior. I just love everything about Kia Rio. It's very sleek, small at the same time. So I decided that that's the car I'm gonna buy. But then now here's the thing. I got my license in 2015, which means I do not know how to drive. I do not know how to drive, because since I got it in 2015, I have not owned a car and I've not been driving. So I decided that, you know what, I'm actually gonna get myself an automatic, because an automatic is easy to drive. I had been playing around with my partner's car because it's automatic, and even though it's scary, but I feel like it's something that I would get used to faster. So I decided that, okay, yeah, we're not Jennifer, the automatic when a girl. And then on top of that, I was looking at demo models and also like older, more second-hand models in their sites. And the more that I was looking at that, the more I realized that the price difference was not that much. And so when I was talking to the car representative, he kind of sold me the idea that I need to get myself a new car, will basically be actually better. So he sold me on that idea, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna go for a new car so that I don't have problems, and it's gonna be my only car, because he was telling me that if you buy a demo, it has been driven by many people, you know, and you may never know the issues that may come with it. And there was a car representative, and now being me and being the naive me, and at the time when I wanted to do this, I did not tell my partner, because there was a time when I wanted to buy a car. I told my partner, I ended up not doing it. So he decided that, you know what, don't tell me that you want to buy a car. I'll just see it when it happens, because when you change your mind easily. So I decided that I'm not going to tell him. Bad idea, because if I had told him, he was going to help me with these issues. But then he was not going to be eager, because he was also going to be worried that I'm going to chicken out as well. So I decided that, you know what, it's fine. We'll go with brand new automatic, the highest, not the highest spec, because I was not going for tech, but I was going for ones that does not have that has a rim instead of wheel caps, because in Pretoria they still wheel caps in cars. So I didn't want that. I wanted a tire that have a rim. So all those things. And also I wanted something that had controls on the steering wheel. I wanted one that has a screen, doesn't have, you know, those old-fashioned kind of radios. Like, I was very specific. So when he added up the numbers, and then he came back to me and he said, okay, we have done the application and everything else. All the banks approved you. All the banks that we actually put your car on to apply for the loan actually approved you, you know. And then he gave me the interest rates for each. And then I said, okay, let's go with the cheapest interest rates. And then he then broke down, how much am I going to be paying now? So when he broke it down, he said, okay, firstly, this car, it is this price. The car was close to 300,000, and then he said, when you buy this car, you're going to be paying 5,400. And yeah, 5,400, and that is just for the car. You haven't added insurance, you haven't added tracker, you haven't added petrol. It's just 5,400. And then also, for you to get this car for 5,400, that means that you also have to put a balloon of 70,000, and I still pay 5,400, excluding insurance, excluding the tracker, excluding petrol and maintenance. I'm going to be paying 5,400, and then at the end I'm going to have a balloon of 70,000. Mina guys, ngiligwala. And one thing I love about myself is that as much as sometimes I can get pressure from people, I also know how to think for myself. And I'm glad that I went through the process of me looking at cars, applying for a car, qualifying for a car, to a point whereby the guy was like, okay, if you're cool with everything, you have to pick your color. You can pick your color, and then once you've picked your color, we'll decide when you can come and collect your car. Me, I looked at the numbers. I crunched the numbers. I looked at the potential salary of how much am I going to be getting when I start this new job. And then how much am I going to be left with? It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. It didn't add up. It was just not. So I decided to call things off. I called the guy and I said, you know what, I'm pulling out. I'm not going to go through with the car. Thank you so much for your assistance, but I don't need the car. No, I can't afford it. I can't. And here's the thing. Many people fall through the trap of Ngfuna Bang'bone. I want people to see me, and then they pull through. They actually go through the whole process to a point whereby they can't talk themselves out of situations that are not good for them. So a person will buy a car that is very expensive because they want people to see them that they've arrived. They want people to see that they can afford certain things. So they find themselves incurring all of this debt, starting all of this debt, buying an expensive car, buying an expensive house, buying all these things just because they want to be seen. And I didn't want to be one of those people. I don't even know what drove me to the point of me wanting to buy the car, but I found myself wanting to buy the car. And when I did eventually go through the entire process, I was able to talk myself out, because I realized that it would be the worst financial mistake I can do for myself. The worst financial mistake. And at that time, I was still paying for my loan, the over 100,000 loan that I had incurred. I was still paying for that, and I was just paying the minimum. Because I decided not to go with the car, I was able to go back to the bank and actually negotiate a lower interest rate with a higher payment price, where now I wasn't paying the minimum, I went way up. I actually doubled my installment. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about this, because I know many of us black people, ladies, gents that watch this channel, we fall trap of, we want people to see us. We want people to recognize the fact that you have arrived, you are working, you can afford things. And so uzbonwe ninja. And then you start doing things that you, at the end of the day, are the one that actually suffers the most. So you go, you buy the most expensive house, or not even the most expensive, the one that is highest in terms of your affordability. You go, you buy an expensive car that you end up working for every day. It drains you because most of your money goes towards that car. You find yourself opening an account, like clothing accounts in expensive shops, just so that they can see that you wear a label. You end up doing all these things that actually put you in a situation whereby financially you are not okay, just because you wanted people to see you. And this also translates to how we behave when we go home. When we go home, because people know that Usman works in Gauteng, Usman works in Durban, Usman works in Cape Town. And then now, when you go home, they expect that you're going to do miracles. They expect that you're Zobalin Ninja and actually solve every problem and buy these big groceries that will be finished by the time it's New Year's Eve. But we fall for this trap because we want people to see. We want people to know that we work, I know many people will be buying cars right now because it's time to go home, because they want people to see. They will go, they'll buy the car because they want to make sure that by the time they go home, they actually have a good car. And I'm not going to say it's a bad idea to buy a car now, because it's the best time to buy a car right now. Like when I know that I want to buy a car, I'll wait until December, because it is just the best time to buy a car. You get good deals right now. But if you buy a car during the year, you might not get good deals. But now every car dealership is trying to push these cars, and so it's the best time to buy a car. But I do know that many people will find themselves in a trap whereby they are buying cars that they cannot afford to pay up, the cars that are draining them, cars that they end up working for them each and every day. They wake up and they are working for a car, they are working for an expensive house. You've got that house now you're feeling like you need to furnish that house, you need to do things in that house, because whatever furniture that you may have had before when you were renting, all of a sudden doesn't fit in this big space that you have bought, doesn't fit in this house. The aesthetics doesn't go. So you feel like you need to rearrange everything. You need to buy new furniture. You need to buy all these things. All these things are eating away on your pocket, and you're not even realizing that most of the decisions that you are making, you are not making them for yourself. Other people, they are making them for you. That is where I found myself, where I moved from thinking a Picanto is good for me to thinking that a Rio is actually perfect for me, because I let people decide how to spend my money. So yeah, I hope that you guys found this video helpful. As I said, don't fall into the trap of Ngfuna Bang'bone. Don't fall on the trap. Live your own life for yourself. Buy things that make sense to you, things that you can afford, and things that are well within your means, so that in the future you don't regret your decisions. You look back and say, you know what, there I made a good decision. So with that being said, please take care and stay safe. And until I see you on the next video, bye.